Here's a mindful man reading another few chapters, even though I forgot to put chapters in. Right then, I'm going to try and read a lot of it. It was time to head home as the evening was drawing in, and he was satisfied with another eventful day. Tom was pleased with his story and surprised as he had never heard of a yellow golf ball either. After dinner, Tom was so tired that he fell asleep on his bed, and when he woke, Josh was so tired that he fell asleep on his bed, and when he woke, the house was dark and quiet, and he silently went downstairs for a glass of water. It was difficult not to make noise, and each step produced a creaking sound, no matter how careful. He was relieved to be back in bed, and he fell into a deep sleep again. When he woke, the room was dark, and a strange burning smell was in the air. Josh lifted himself up and looked around the room. There was a little moonlight coming through a chink in the curtain, and he could just make out a wardrobe and then the desk of drawers. His hair stood on end, and a figure seemed to slowly appear at the edge of the bed. Josh closed his eyes and opened them again. He hoped it was his dad, but unfortunately it wasn't. The figure was dressed in an old World War One uniform. His face looked haggard, even though he was probably only about 18. The smell of burning grew stronger in the room, and Josh forced himself to get out of bed. He really didn't want to look at the same airman again, but he had no choice. He slowly walked towards the door. He hoped and prayed that the airman wouldn't look at him or try to touch him. When he'd got within 5 yards of him, to Josh's relief, the man slowly disappeared like mist into nothingness. Josh inched his way downstairs. His heart was still beating wildly, and when he opened the kitchen door, he was hit by a blast of heat and smoke. Instantly, the smoke stung his eyes and filled his mouth. In the dim light, it took him a while to work out what was doing so much damage. Toast had stuck in the toaster, and it was sending smoke up into the air as it burnt itself to a crisp. Quickly, he unplugged the toaster and opened the kitchen window. They were hot to the touch. He was fortunate to have gotten there just in time. The thick smoke poured out outside like an evil grey snake. Luckily, Tom had slept through it all, and the next day Josh explained to him what had happened. Although Tom was skeptical, he didn't say so. It was good to have an open mind in thought, but not too open. There was still a smoky haze drifting through the house, so Tom announced that they were going on another day trip for some fresh air. Thankfully, he wasn't angry. Where to? Josh said, excited. The zoo, Tom said, and before they knew it, they were speeding out of the yard again, with the sunshine ahead of them, leaving the smoke far, far behind.